So I wanted to go pro in esports. It started when I was 14 until I was about 20. I really wanted to be a pro gamer and compete on a team. It started with Fortnite when I was maybe 13 or 14. I discovered Fortnite. I played it on day one, like season zero, pretty much. I don't think it was even called season one. And as soon as I tried it, I knew, like, holy shit, this game is for me. I want to play this game all day, every day. And so I pretty much did as much as I could. Of course, my parents didn't let me play 16 hours a day at the time. But, sorry. Yeah, I really fell in love with Fortnite. And the building mechanic, that was really what drew me to it. And I got pretty good. I played it on Xbox at the time, and I got okay good. Like pretty out of all the friends I played with, I was definitely like the best player out of all of them. So that's what really put the idea in my mind that I could maybe go pro and compete. And at the time, there was not really a pro scene yet. It was just like content creators that made like small, friendly competitions and stuff. But soon enough, the pro scene kind of picked up in Fortnite, and I moved to Asia for a little bit, and I got a PC. It was a an Alienware laptop that kept breaking down, but it worked, and I had to get used to mouse and keyboard. It was my first game that I ever played on mouse and keyboard, and I grinded. I wanted to get as good as I was on Xbox. On mouse and keyboard, because I was looking at all the best players like Ninja, Tfue. They were all playing mouse and keyboard, so I was like, fuck, I need to do that too. And maybe within like a month or two, I was as good as I was on controller. And slowly but surely, I got better on mouse and keyboard. And I made some other friends to play with on Asia servers. And I was definitely the best out of them as well, and that pushed me even more. I was like, oh shit, okay, let me start and try to compete and stuff. So I joined the Scrim server for mostly Korean players that were like prepping for Korea Open. At the time, I was maybe 15 back then, and as soon as I got into the scrim server and I started off trying to scrim and got into my first match, I realized, oh, okay, I am no match for them in skill level at all. And instead of discouraging me, it just pushed me to try to get better even more. And I grinded, I tried to get better, but I never could get to their level. Like everything I did, it just didn't. I just couldn't catch up. They kept getting better and better, and I fell behind, and that really discouraged me. And yeah, I realized that these guys were really good, and I couldn't compete with them. And slowly but surely, I also fell out of love with the game. With all the changes, the simplicity was gone. There was so much junk added to the game. Every season that you had to get used to, and the gameplay changed, and the meta kept changing, the loadout kept changing. It really annoyed me, because I like routines, and I like stuff that stays the same, like in general in life. And that game was the complete opposite. They kept changing everything. Every season, the map changed, the POIs changed, the guns changed. It was really getting on my nerves because I wanted to take the game seriously, competitively. Sorry. And yeah, and also I moved back to the West, to Canada, around that period, and changing environments. I was homeschooled from around 12 years old to 15 when I came back to Canada. And then I had to go to high school, and that really put a big stop to my gaming journey. I was because I was kind of isolated since I was homeschooled. I didn't have a lot of IRL friends, and then all of a sudden I'm like getting thrown into a 2,000 student school, surrounded by young people my age, and I was really socially awkward, and so I developed a lot of anxiety, and I just couldn't game for some reason. I came back home, and all I wanted to do was just sit in bed and watch like a show or something, because I just wanted to not think about anything. But slowly but surely, I made some friends in that high school that played Fortnite, and I came back to it a little bit, but I wasn't good anymore. That really made me sad. I couldn't compete anymore. And I also didn't have the that's when I realized I didn't have the genetics to compete with these guys, because and also Fortnite is such a ping dependent game, and I didn't have good ping. I had like maybe 40 ping, and I couldn't compete with these guys that had like 2 ping, that kept taking my walls and editing super quick. It just wasn't in my cards. Like, I couldn't go pro in Fortnite, and all these things kept adding up that made me unable to compete. And then I took a break from gaming altogether until the pandemic hit, and then school got online for my high school. My last year of high school, it was online. I didn't get my graduation or anything, and I pretty much never saw my the friends I made in high school again after that. And yeah, and Valorant came up, so that was my new obsession. As soon as I hopped on Val with my online friends, I was like, all right, this is my game now. But and I looked at the good players at the time, and they were all transfers from CS. And that didn't click in my head yet that, oh shit, if I want to compete in this game, I have to compete against people that already have the skill set for the type of game that this is. But still, I was disciplined, and I was motivated to learn this new game and get better. And I was so shit. I was so bad. I was so bad at this game. Because the mechanics are so different from Fortnite. And Fortnite was my first FPS game. I had pretty much no experience with shooters except Fortnite. So I grinded. I got maybe gold in the beta and gold 3 in the first season, and then slowly but surely I climbed the ranks, plat, diamond, and I hit immortal once for one game. I was immortal, and then I never hit it again. I deranked instantly, and never reached it again. To this day, I never got immortal again. And yeah, I realized I didn't have the discipline to play 12 hours a day to get better, and I got tired quickly. Like after 2 hours of gaming, I was done. Like I couldn't focus, and realized that genetically I wasn't meant to be sitting on in front of a screen and playing all day, and I couldn't compete with the guys that could. Of course, like also I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't quick enough taking decisions in game. It didn't come naturally to me. What came pretty naturally was just the aim. The aiming part was I was decent. I was pretty good, but everything else just dragged me down, and I couldn't get better. It just wasn't natural at all for me. So I pretty much gave up. Yeah, I pretty much gave up gaming, going pro in gaming when I turned like 20. Around the time I dropped out of school. It was such a bad timing too. Like, I'm dropping out of college. Yeah, I didn't explain that part. I was in college, and only thing I could think about was Valorant and getting better at Valorant and going pro in Valorant. So that really fucked my grades up, because I wasn't studying. I wasn't taking it seriously at all. And I like, my program was not what I wanted to do. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Once, like, I gave up gaming, like going pro in gaming, because I was like, fuck, I can't do this. And a couple weeks later, I was like, oh fuck, this program is not leading me where I want to go. So I dropped out, because I didn't see any other programs that interested me anyways. And I dropped out, and for a couple months I didn't do anything except like I still gamed, but I still played Val and everything, but I had given up on the idea of going pro. And yeah, and then I got a job, the same job I have now. So that was when I was 20, so 2 years ago. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I'm telling you my life story here. I think I wanted to talk about like giving up, and giving up on the dreams you have, because it's hard, man. Because once you give up on the thing that you put all this time into, it feels like a big loss. It feels like you've wasted your time. And it's also super difficult to find another dream, another goal, another path to take. And I struggled with that for the last 2 years, finding my purpose, trying to know what I wanted to do with myself, with my life. And throughout those 2 years, like, the idea of going pro came back, like, on and off. I had the desire to get back to it and grind again, but I have to realize that it's not in my cards. And also, I think it's an excuse to just avoid life and just escape into video games. Like, I'm telling myself, oh, like, I'll go back to gaming and grinding and I'll go pro. But actually, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just avoiding my responsibility my responsibilities and escaping into gaming. But recently, I've pretty much found out what I wanted to do. Not found out what I wanted to do, but I have a better idea now what I want my life to look like in the future, and how to get there has gotten clearer. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I want to make another video about like video game addiction, and because I've dealt with being addicted to gaming throughout my my teenage years and even beginning of my 20s for sure, and I still do from time to time like struggle with that addiction. But yeah, I think I want to make a full-length video about video game addiction and maybe how I dealt with it.